Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose's back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. All right, NXT WarGames, the final pay-per-view for WWE for the year. NXT 2.0's very first pay-per-view. And the last NXT pay-per-view for 3 people, potentially, but one definitely for one Beth Phoenix. We will miss Beth Phoenix over here. Beth Phoenix was great. But let's figure out how this pay-per-view went. Overall, pretty solid pay-per-view. As I always think. I think NXT has always had very solid to very great pay-per-views. But this was a very solid pay-per-view. Let's get into it. All right, so the match to start off NXT WarGames was the women's WarGames match. It was Team Dakota, which was Dakota Kai and Toxic Attraction, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions Gigi Dolan and was it JD Jace? And of course, the NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose, as they took on Team Raquel, which is Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Cora Jade, and Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray. There we go. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't sure how this match was gonna go. I honestly thought it would. I thought it'd be a train wreck. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it wasn't. It was actually a really, really, really good match. I mean, luckily there was 4 people who were actually in WarGames last year. So, you know. So if there's one thing that I learned about WarGames last year, and it's that whoever gets the pin in WarGames potentially has a big future ahead of them. Raquel Gonzalez last year got the pinfall. She got the pinfall, and from there, she skyrocketed. And we'll get to who got the pinfall in a minute. But let's see. This match started off with Kaylee Ray. I don't know why it's hard to say that name over so fast. Kaylee Ray and Dakota Kai, the 2 women who actually fought to figure out who would get the advantage in this match, started off. And if you're not familiar with WarGames pretty much is like this. So 2 people will start, and for 5 minutes they'll go at it in a cage. In a cage with 2 rings. Now they could bring weapons into the match. That's perfectly fine. It's no rules, no disqualifications. Obviously no countouts because you're in a cage. For 5 minutes they go at it, and then after the 5 minutes, one member of a team will come, and then it'll come like that every 3 minutes. And then until all 8 competitors are in the match, that's when the match officially begins. So you can't get a pin, you can't make nobody submit. You have to wait until all of the participants are in the match. Simple? Cool. All right. So as I said, Kaylee Ray and Dakota Kai started the match off. 5 minutes elapsed. Next person up was Cora Jade, because Kaylee Ray got the advantage from Tuesday. So that means the first member of the team was from Team Raquel, and boom, it was Cora Jade. Cora Jade came in with the skateboard and just hit Dakota Kai multiple times with set skateboard. And from there, it was a 2-on-1 handicap match until the next 3 minutes elapsed. Next up was Gigi Dolan, and then from there, it was pretty much a tag team match, 2-on-2. Then came Io Shirai. And from there, That's when we introduced more weapons. Because when the match started, it was just kendo sticks. Each woman, Kai and Ray, each had kendo sticks. So it was just that at the time. But it wasn't until Io Shirai started coming in, you saw chairs come in and garbage cans come in. So that's when we started getting weapons. Then Miss Jane came in and she brought in a table. Now, I believe she has now second guessed bringing in that table because that table didn't do her team any favors, but then again, it didn't do much favors for Team Raquel either. Because that table was used for probably the biggest spot in the match, which was Miss Cora Jade, top of the cage, boom, coming down on Jade. Ironically, the person that brought in the table was the one to go through it. So Cora Jade does like a flip. Pretty much she flips in midair, boom, lands on Jade. Now, she got Jade. She got all of it. But the way Jade landed, it's almost like her shoulder came out of place. So from there, Jade was pretty much almost a non-factor in the match for the pretty much majority of the rest of the match. She was pretty much holding the shoulder. She didn't know what to do. There was this point where she went to the other ring. Yeah, the other ring, and then she was leaning on the cage, and doctors were checking her out. She was pretty much saying, "Oh, my shoulder's out of socket. My shoulder's out of socket." Io stops them. She's like, "Don't worry, I got this." She takes Jade, takes her arm, and pops Jade's shoulder back into place. I saw that and I said to myself, Io, I love you. Because I don't think anybody else would have did that. Io, I appreciate you. And this is why Io, to me, is that damn good. And my pad keep falling. Jesus. I'm gonna put it out here. If they ever put Io to the main roster, I don't know if they ever will. But if they do, and if WWE can find out where Asuka is and bring her out of hiding, I need Io Shirai versus Asuka. Give them 15 minutes. 15 minutes is all I need. 20 is stretching it, but give me 15 minutes. That would be one of the best matches you ever see. I promise you. I wholeheartedly promise you. That's what I'm saying. Just wanted to put that out there. And sizzle your brain. From there, Raquel Gonzalez came in. They tried to block her way in. They tried to block the door. Raquel got a fire extinguisher, sprayed it in her eyes. Then she was able to get in, and all of a sudden she was just tearing shit up from there. You know how Raquel do. Then Mandy Rose came in, and then, pretty much from there it was squared away. But before I even get any further, Raquel put Dakota Kai in a trash can and was swinging her around in it. Number one, that was disrespectful. But number two, it was hilarious. So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. So, now, as the match went on, pretty much during the match, you saw chairs, you saw garbage cans, kendo sticks, trash can lids, tables. You saw all of it. It was just a crazy, crazy mess. A lot more. Can we say a lot more crazy than the men's match? We'll get to the men's match, but I think this had a lot more weapons than the men's match. Maybe. If I can think at the top of my head. Probably. I guess it all depends. But this match was really good. For most first timers, not a bad match. Toxic Attraction did much better than I thought they would. Speaking of Toxic Attraction, they tried their hardest to make sure they got the win. And they tried to do it on Cora Jade. Because Cora Jade was injured. Her shoulder was killing her. But Mandy Rose tried to make sure that she got the win on her. She hit her knee, the same knee that she hit Raquel on to become NXT Women's Champion. She thought she had the win there. Cora Jade kicked out. Cora Jade was just a ward. Cora Jade was the MVP of this match, obviously. So going towards the end, Raquel Gonzalez, hits that one-arm choke slam on who she hit on? I think she hit on. No, she had to hit it on Jade because I don't think she hit on Mandy, but she hit it on Jade. Boom, and then Gigi and Raquel each hit each other with a big boot, so everybody's down. Cora's up. She's looking around. Nobody's up. Nobody's moving. She moves. She moves to Jane. Rolls up. 1, 2, 3. Cora Jade gets the win. Now, is this a sign of things to come for Miss Jade? Possibly. If her getting the win means she is just that much closer to breaking out, I'm down with it. But just give it a little time. If I give it, listen, if she's like Raquel, who I think every match Raquel got better and better and better on her way to the NXT title or the NXT Women's Championship, I'm cool with that. I'm very cool with that. But Cora Jade definitely the MVP of this match. Again, she had the pretty much the highlight of the match with the somersault going down through the table. I see big things from Miss Cora Jade. I do. Yeah. That's pretty much all I got. Solid match. Very good match to start the night off. And then from there, a little up and down. But we'll get to it. Next match, let's get it.